My mom visited our house for the last time 7 years ago. It was on an Easter Sunday. I only took one photo of her that day. Even knowing what we were dealing with, I didn't recognize what we were facing. And anyone who has been there will understand this distinction. I naively thought that they'd be back down another time. Neither one of my kids remembers her ever having come to our house. Lately, I've been dreaming a lot about them as babies. I never dream about the kids, like, ever. I don't know what that says about me as a mom or why I don't dream about them. It's simply the truth. And I'd like to think that maybe it's because I think about them so much during the day that my brain feels free to think about other things while I'm sleeping. I'm no expert. I am certainly not a trained psychologist. But a strong gut feeling tells me that I'm reconciling a lot about this period from when my kids were little. I knew my mom had Alzheimer's. I knew it. But we didn't have a diagnosis yet when my kids were little. And so that gave me a flexibility with reality. I could pretend from time to time that this wasn't really the path we were on. When my kids were tiny was the last time that I didn't have the shroud of Alzheimer's hanging over me. I had babies. This next part is difficult to say out loud. Truthfully, I wasn't as present in those moments of them being babies and toddlers and preschoolers, because that's when the biggest changes were occurring with my mom. And for those of you who've been there, you know there's only so much mental capacity to go around. Now, I'm back in a place where I can focus, but my world has shifted. I no longer have babies, toddlers, preschoolers, or even early learners. I often say caregiving is hard because it is. If you know a sandwich generation caregiver, and that's somebody who takes care of folks who are older than they are, as well as folks who are younger than they are, please understand that there is no good way to describe what it's like. Hard and exhausting don't begin to cover it. Looking back, and the farther away I get from that time, the more I have no idea how I managed. It's impossible to explain what it was like or what I needed. So I'm in a new stage of grief. I'm realizing what I missed when I was in the thick of it, and that it's time that I will never get back with any of them.